Hi, this is Nick from BluePrint Automation. I'm going to demonstrate how to change over a Cubemaster 300i, as well as the product in-feed and the full case exit changeover points. So the first thing you're going to do is come to your HMI, and you have control current on or the safety circuit is enabled. So if I go, I'm in the control screen right now, but if I go to main menu, and this is where your changeover button is going to appear, but you do not get the button unless your safety circuit is not enabled. So you can push an e-stop, and you might need to lock the machine out as well, but not quite yet. And now I do get my changeover button, so I want to go to changeover. And right now I'm changed over currently to product code 14. We're going to go to product code number 1. But if I were to go to a different one, I would just navigate with these up-down directional buttons. You can see the pointer follow. So I'm going to go up to change to product code number 1. And then that's our enter button. I'm going to enter. You'll see it highlight, and then you'll see the information for that product code or that recipe is going to populate in these text boxes up here. And then you're going to see the load button. So I do want to load product code number 1 and all these parameters. I load it, and then are you sure you want to load it? Another double checkpoint. Yes, I'm sure. And then now I'm in the first changeover page. So what you want to do now is get the packer ready to return control current. So I have my guard area entry switch on. I need to bring that back to run. And now I'm ready to hit my safety reset button to do the same thing for an e-stop. I would show where the e-stop is at the HMI here. I need to pull it. And now I'm ready to reset control current. So reset safety to start changeover. I can do it here. I can do it here. And then now you're going to get a message saying your servos and your linear actuators, they're going to change over position. They're opening up so I can take my change parts out and I can get to a good position to do any changeover points with our 3/4 wrench that you'll see here shortly. So everything's moving to a convenient spot. And then when we're ready, you're going to see a green banner right here saying you're ready to lock the machine back out. This will take several seconds, so we'll wait a few more seconds. And there we go. If we look at the machine here, the gap plate lowered down, so now I can get my pusher plate taken out, and that bar cassette wall, that opened up all the way, so I can take that lift plate out without any obstruction. So I'm back on the HMI screen, lock out the machine below. You'll do the lockout procedure. And then when we do get a trap key installed in this machine, you can lock it out here as well, and you can pull the trap key and keep it with you. The first thing is, the way these changeover steps work is you have a step to do on the left-hand side and a step to do on the right-hand side. So the first step on the left-hand side is telling us to change the lift plate. However, you're getting this green banner right here on this step on the left-hand side step, saying this is the same as the previous product code. So that just means this is the lift plate that's going to be installed right here, 2411-654, but this banner is telling us it's already in the machine right now. So that's a convenient thing, but it's just a double check to make sure that's the lift plate. So we'll double check that one is correct, and then we're going to move to the right here, and then this is calling for the pusher plate, 2411-653, and just kind of showing an image of the pusher plate. So machine's locked out. I do my try-start procedure to unlock the doors, so I've done that. I'm going to go look at the lift plate and pusher plate installed. So I open the change part door, and then if I were to remove the lift plate, I'm going to unlock this toggle clamp. And the way to do that, well, if it was fixed correctly, first thing is if you just pull on it, it's not going to open up. You're going to see this little release piece right here. You need to lift up on that release piece, and then it'll unlatch the clamp. So then I want to take this lift plate out if I were to be changing it, but the screen told us it was the same. So I might need to bump it a little bit, but if I were to take this out, it goes out pretty easy. And then I'm going to look at the change part tag, 2411-654, and that's correct. that is the one that we need to install, and it was already the same, so we're going to leave it installed anyway. I just took it out for demonstration purpose. So I reinstall, slide in pretty easy, and then I push on that clamp to lock it in. You can kind of give it a pull test to make sure it's locked in. So that's done there. And then now the pusher plate up here, it's the same deal. I release it from the back, and I open it up, and you kind of want to just kind of give it a jiggle and it'll come out. And then here we have pusher plate 2413085. So we're going to put that away, and we need to install 2411653. So that's right here, 2411653. Same thing, I kind of line up the grooves. I line up the piece into the grooves. And just push it in, it should go in easy, and I lock it down. I give it a pull test, and it's okay. And then I close the change part loading door. And I'll close the door stop with it, and I'll make sure that this reflector is seeing this photo eye with that orange light, which means it is seeing it. If I lift it up again, I get a green light, which is blocked. So that door is closed right now. You can test that one as well. It's closed. Okay, so on the HMI, so they have those two steps, and when you've done it and you want to confirm you've done it, you're going to press to confirm when the new parts are inserted. So I did that, it's confirmed. And then I get this push button saying I can go to the next step. Okay, so here's the next step. So this one's a little unique. These are the loading door positions. You have two sets of loading doors. You have a set for vertical, or for vertical packing. And then you have a set for horizontal or flat packing. So we're going from a vertical pack to a vertical pack, which means these loading doors stay the same. So the vertical ones are 2147, 111, and 110. They're already installed. But if I were to go to a horizontal pack, then I'm going to use these loading doors right here, 2147, 072, and the one just to the right of it, 127. And if I were to get those out, they'd slide out of that pocket there, and I would change it out. So the right loading door is installed, but now we need to go to where the loading doors are installed and set them in the right position on the scale, on the left side and the right side, so they're always going to be matching, and they're both at 15.1. So let's go do that. So you have a 3/4 inch wrench stored right up here on a hook. We try and keep it there. And these are the two loading doors I'm talking about. So if I were to remove the door and replace the door with the horizontal pack, I'm just gonna loosen up that bolt, slide it towards the door of the machine, and it should pop out. And then I'd install the other loading part door. But this one's gonna stay on there, and we need to adjust it to 15.1. So there's a pointer on your scale, and in vertical pack we're using the blue scale, and you'll see the blue adjustment. If we were in horizontal packing and we put on that other change part door, it would cover up this blue scale, and we would have a black pointer, and we would be using this black scale here for flat pack. But we're blue, we're using vertical pack. And another thing to note that is a commonly done mistake is this scale counts up while going down. So just be really careful about where you leave your changeover point. So if I were to go down here, a lot of people might say that's 15.1. That's actually, or I'm sorry, right here, they might think that's 15.1 right about here. That's actually 14.1. We go down to 15, and then a little bit lower for 14.1. And then I'm going to tighten that there. And then also make sure there's a double check with the laser here to make sure the loading door is at the correct position. So you'll see this dot here coming from the laser, and this white piece here is what we call the flag. So make sure that laser is shining on the flag when this door is all the way open towards the exit. So it's seeing the flag, so that's okay. It's a little bit on that side of the flag, but it's okay, it'll read it. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing to the left side, match it to 15.1. There's a scale over here, and it's the same adjustment. Okay, so the same thing, I did both of those steps, the left side and the right side. So I confirm I did them, and then I get the next step button. So I go to the next step. Next is on the tipper. It's also a blue adjustment. You'll notice the color-coded adjustments are about the same. There's a few exceptions to that rule, but anyways, this blue adjustment on the tipper here for this backrest is 15.1, and then on the ICE arm is 14. The reason it's 14, but it's also blue, is 14 is the maximum that this tipper or this ICE opening arm can be adjusted to. If it could be adjusted to 15.1, we would go to that, but 14 is the max, so we're staying at 14. So anyway, I go to the tipper turn on the left first. And you're going to look inside and you'll see the scale right here. We're at maybe 11.8, maybe 12. And I look at this notch right here. You want to match this surface of the notch to the scale. And then the way you do that is you're going to loosen it on the back here. We have 3 bolts right here. I'm going to keep using my 3/4 inch wrench. So I'm going to start to loosen those, and I'm going to support this this tipper backrest at the same time. So that frees it up, and I'm going to slide it down to 15.1, right about here. And again, the scale is counting up as you go down, just keep in mind. And I'll tighten it right about there. Alright, so that's good. Then we're going to go to the ICE. So again, with the 3/4 wrench, we're just going to loosen up these 2 bolts. And on this adjustment, you're going to try and match your scale on this arm here with this semicircle notch on the on this blue piece. So we're going all the way to 14, so I'm just going to let it rest. Okay. So again, I've done both those steps. I pushed to confirm I did it. And then I go to the next step. The next on the left is the installing the tipper extension. Here we're going to take the tipper extension piece and we're going to put it in the stored position on the machine, not on the tipper. This recipe does not call for the tipper extension. Neither did the last recipe. So I'm just going to go show you how to do that, but we're going to leave it in the stored position as it already is. And again, it's the same as previous product code. So we go in here. And this is the piece we're talking about. So this is the tipper extension. If I was going to install it, I would just lift it up and try and keep these 2 flange bolts with it. It's going to install right here. There's a groove on the tipper, and you're going to match it with the groove on the extension, and it'll just slide in really easy. And then I would tighten down these bolts right here, and again with the 3/4 wrench, and that would be all there is to it. But right now we're going to leave it in the stored position. And that's where we'll go. The next is called an orange adjustment. It kind of looks a little bit red, but it's the flat fold file width. It's going to be 12.8. You're going to find that in here. So here's the adjustment. You have these 2 bolts to loosen up. And again, we're going to match this semicircle to the scale behind it. And if I were to move it around, loosen a little more. it should move pretty easily. And then this one was 12.8, so there's my pointer, and right about there, 12, 12 and a half, and 13. There's about 12.8. Yep. So the next step is going to be on the ICE robot. This is the yellow adjustment. It's also going to be at 12.8. So we're going to go to the ICE robot. This one's a little harder to get to and to notice. So again, here's the ICE robot, and this adjustment actually, you might want to come over to the side, is back here. You've got a bolt right on top here, and right on the other side, you'll kind of see it sitting on like a yellow block. So I'm going to loosen that up on the right side and loosen it up on the left side. So once those are both loose, you can see how easy it slides. I think it was 12.8. So you got to kind of get your head in there, but there's a semicircle notch right there as well, and the scale on the back here. So I'm going to line it up to 12.8. Right about there. And tighten it up. So we did the left adjustment. Next is the tipper width cup position is at 12.8. So that's a red adjustment. So we're going to go in here. And this tipper cup is adjustable along with this third fork prong. So I'm going to look down here. They're all red adjustments. You can see here, and then also down here is another red adjustment. And those are all going to be matched to 12.8. So the first one, loosen it up. It'll slide really easy. And again, the semicircle and the scale's behind it. So 12.8 somewhere around there. Alright, so we moved the fork prong, but now there's the suction cups right here. And you'll see the scale printed right below it here. And the pointer on it. So I loosened both of those up. And I can slide that cup wherever I want to. And I want to find about 12.8. It was pretty close to the last product code. Right about there. And then down here is the flat folding plow. It's another clamp like we looked at earlier where it's going to release from the bottom. So I release it. And then this should slide left and right. And again, you have that semicircle and the scale behind it, so I'm going to find 12.8 right about there. It's not a very sensitive changeover point. Okay, so I did all those red adjustments on the right. I confirm it, and I go to the next step. This one is the magazine sidewall. That's at 27.85. And that's a green adjustment. So we're going to have to walk around the machine and make that adjustment. So 27.85.
Oh, bro.
So there's two handles to adjust here, and you see the scale engraved on the piece. So I'm going to loosen the handle on the bottom here, and then again on the left here, just right here. And if you can't get a good grip on it, what you can do if it's tight, is you can lift up on the bottom and kind of put it in a good position where you can get a better grip on it, and then you can loosen it up. So now the pointer that we're going to match is just on the edge of this piece of angle iron. and it was 28, I think it was 28.9 or 28.85, 875. So anyways, 28. And there's 28 and a half, 28 and 3/4, and maybe 28.8. And so I'm gonna match it here, come to the other side, do it again. Tighten down this side. Double check this side because it might have moved a little bit when I did the left side. That's okay. Tighten it down there and give it a pull test. It's not going anywhere, so that's done. Okay, so we just did the left adjustment, next is the right, and that's the full case turner. So that's going to be used for major or minor loading. So if we are minor loading, which is the more common kind of way to load, we're not going to use this full case turner, which is what it's asking us to do, is to put it in. Right now it's out, so we need to put it in. So here it is. It's just two positions, in or out. It's out right now. I just bring it back and it locks in with this piece here. It's really simple. And if I wanted to take it out, I would just kind of push it back a little bit and lift up that piece and it would go out. Okay, next are the changeover points for the bag infeed. We have a total of 10 points to change. So we're going to start on this first section, which are positions 1 and 2, and those are the bag settler positions. So position 1 needs to be 3, and 2 needs to be 14. We're going to go over there. So the height of the settler pan is done right here. Here's the pan, and we're going to position it to the height. This is done in 4 places. This is changeover position 1, so right here, 2, and then 3 and 4 on the other side. So you're just gonna adjust it to, it said position 3. So I lower it to 3. Tighten it down, do it again. Tighten it down, and then I would do it 2 more times on the other side. So that's position 1, and then changeover position 2 is right here. That positions the width of the bag guides in the settler. We normally recommend leaving these wide open, as wide as you can get them. Bags like to go underneath those rails and jam up in the settler. So it's asking for position 14, which is already where it's at. But if I were to adjust it, I would just loosen that handle. And this is the same story. If I was in a bad position to loosen up this handle and I couldn't open it there, I would just lift it up, find a good position, and then loosen it, and then drag that rail left and right and find my changeover point. So right there is 14. And I tighten it down, and again I do that 4 times, 1, 2, and then at the back, 3 and 4. So that takes care of the bag settler. Okay, so next is the transfer conveyor positions. There are 8 positions in the transfer conveyor. And you'll kind of see a pattern with them. The odd positions are about the same, and so are the even positions. So starting with 3 and 4, 3 is 10, 4 is 32, and then 5 and 6, 5 is 10, 6 is 32. So we're going to go over there. 10, 32, 10, 32. Here's position 3, 4, 5, and 6 are behind this door. I open it up. 3 is this close adjustment, 4 is the farther one. You'll see the nameplate 4, and then same deal, 5 is this adjustment, 6 back here is this farther adjustment. So it was 10 and 32, I think, so I loosen the handle, loosen both of them to move the guide pretty easy. And then 3 and 5 are both 10. So I find 10 on the scale there. And then 4 and 6 were 32. So same thing. And then 32. So that's done for 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then it's the same exact process for 7, 8, 9, and 10. So repeat the same process, whatever the position calls for in the HMI. Okay, so we've done all those. You would do 5, 6, or I'm sorry, 7, 8, 9, and 10 as well. So I completed all those. Go to the next step. And then lastly is the full case positions. So we skipped that page, we'll fix that. But anyway, the full case positions are over here. So you have changeover position 12, and over here is changeover position 11. So the ones on the left, there are only 2 positions to changeover on the left, which are 12, and then there are 3 changeover positions on the right, which are 11. So 12, whatever it was, I think it was 3. Again, I'm going to loosen the handle. My scale's behind it, and the pointer's right there, pretty obvious. I'd find 3 right there, and I would repeat the same process for the next guide a little further downstream. And the same thing for 11. I think 11 was 4. So I loosen it up. There's 4. And we're good there. And I would do it once and twice more downstream. Again, all the ones on the right side are 11 and the left are 12. So that should be everything. That's complete changeover on a Cubemaster 300i. And thank you for watching.